Newport News in Review starts right now.
Hello, I'm Aaron Pritchett, and welcome to this edition of Newport News in Review for the month of November 2011. Ready or not, the holiday season is here, as we try our best to spread a little holiday cheer. But of course, there's so much to do in so little time, so it's very important to find a way to slow down a bit and enjoy the beauty that surrounds. So look up and look around, as the spectacular displays of color paint the town. Well, of course, these colors aren't here to stay, but it sure is a fine time to reflect and give thanks in your own special way. And what better place to take it all in than right here, as we proudly celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Mile Noland Trail, which winds its way through beautiful Mariners Museum Park, the largest privately owned public park in America. It's a place that locals know all too well, a crown jewel, an oasis, and the perfect excuse to get away from it all, as the one-of-a-kind 5-mile nature trail, proudly known as the Noland Trail, is beautifully situated within the confines of Mariners Museum Park. And thanks to the generosity and financial support of Lloyd Noland Jr. and the Noland family, this trail has provided citizens and visitors alike an experience like no other for decades, with the perfect place to exercise, relax, and most importantly, reconnect with nature no matter what time of year. But the overall journey to provide this remarkable place to this community was indeed no walk in the woods, but rather something very special that grew out of a larger plan that began more than 80 years ago. As philanthropist, author, and art collector Archer Huntington and his wife Anna von Hyatt Huntington started out with a simple dream to build a lake, a park, and a museum dedicated to man and the sea. But only time would tell if their dream would become a reality. So in the early 1930s, 800 acres of pristine land was purchased in Warwick County, and the initial plans focused on infrastructure, as construction began to build a dam at Watts Creek to create a 168-acre lake and called it Lake Maury, for Matthew Fontaine Maury, who was a very well-known naval figure of the 19th century. On top of the dam, a bridge was constructed that would eventually become the very famous Lions Bridge across the area where it formerly joined the James River. But their work was far from done, as they proceeded forward with the monumental task of rerouting Highway Route 60 and constructed a new concrete bridge next to Causey's Mill that would help to create an entrance to this new museum and park in the years to come. Over the next few years, the focus turned to the natural beauty of the park, as major landscaping and planting projects were implemented, the acquisition of wildlife, in particular a deer park, and the installation of several unique statues created by Archer's wife Anna, who sculpted numerous pieces of art, most notably the 4 stone lions at the Lions Bridge, and the Conquering the Wild statue on the hill at the back of the park, thus creating a unique setting for the future success of the Mariners Museum and its surroundings. As the years passed, many changes have taken place throughout Mariners Museum Park, but one thing in particular came along in 1990 that forever enhanced the overall experience of this natural wonderland that would benefit one and all for years to come. As Lloyd Noland Jr., a man who was born and raised in Newport News and had once ridden a horse on the property's bridle trails as a child, approached the Mariners Museum with an offer to finance the creation of a walking trail that would allow visitors to really get up close and personal with the beauty of this 600-acre park. And with an offer like that, the Mariners Museum gratefully accepted this gift from the Noland Foundation, and construction began on a 5-mile European-style walking trail at a cost of $500,000, offering a one-of-a-kind walk in the woods, complete with 14 wooden bridges that provide breathtaking views of Lake Maury and other spectacular sights that only Mother Nature can provide. And once construction was complete in the fall of 1991, there was only one thing left to do, as the Noland family unveiled a granite marker and officially opened the Noland Trail to the public. And the rest is, well, history, as today the beautiful 5-mile Noland Trail has become more popular than ever, as it continues to prove itself as a tremendous asset to this community, thanks to the continued financial support of the Noland family and the incredible care that the Mariners Museum landscape and maintenance staff provides yearly on this amazing trail. We are proud to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Noland Trail in beautiful Mariners Museum Park, and we encourage you to take that first step on a journey that will indeed open your eyes to nature in the largest privately maintained public park in America. And lucky for us, right here in our very own backyard for us to enjoy throughout the year for free. Well, November has been another busy month, so let's take a look at what's been going on right here in the city of Newport News. It is better to give than to receive, as these students flex their muscles and their minds in an effort to provide food on the table for those in need right here in this community and throughout the peninsula, just in time for the holiday season. This is where history and local art combine, and it's giving 3 generations and 1 family a chance to truly shine, with quite an array of creative art that crosses time and space in the comfortable confines of one historic place. And it's a special place that has served this community well for nearly 2 decades. But the time has come to take it down and begin the process of transforming this popular site with something new, something modern, and something much more safer, so that more memories can be made for children and families alike for many more years to come. What goes up must come down. And unfortunately, sometimes that involves taking something special down that has meant so much to the community, not to mention providing lasting memories for children and their families for nearly 2 decades. But the good news is, all is not lost, because the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism has been working over the years to find something more modern and a whole lot safer to replace the beloved Fort Fun Playground in beautiful Huntington Park.
Fort Fun was a huge community effort back in 1992. Playground was built. Tens of thousands of kids used it every year, and it served the community well for the last 19, almost 20 years. Yeah, a lot has changed. For example, metal slides are no longer used. They get hot when the sun's on them, that type of thing. So the standards have changed. The playground safety standards have, over the last decade, have really changed. The playground we're going to put in is a new modern play structure with composite materials and new materials. It's a lot, it's safe. The standards are always changing. We just want to be able to provide a safe place for the kids to come out and play. Unfortunately, the age of the wood, wood has a life expectancy, and we ran it for that 19 or 20 years, and fortunately it doesn't last forever. So it was time to make the change. It took us a couple years with planning and talking to vendors and getting designs, and of course budget's a big thing with a project this large. So for all those things to fall in place, it took a couple years, and we're almost there.
We love it. Every day we get to go out, and first of all, we get the enjoyment of tearing stuff down, which everybody loves to do demolition. And then it's a lot of fun because, we're making playgrounds for kids. And can't do much better than that. That's a lot of fun. Well, we've got a skid steer that we primarily use for the demolition with the grapple bucket, so you can see so it grabs it and it can pull it off. It's a good piece of equipment because it can tear through stuff like nobody's business. And then the good thing about this type of equipment, we can change the bucket to an auger bit, so when we go to build the playground, it digs all the holes and makes it a lot easier. I think this playground has about 200 to 300 holes we have to dig, so the auger bit saves a lot of time. It's like Christmas every day. Just get in there. You can get in there and do whatever you want, because you can't make a mistake tearing it down. The only way you can make a mistake is leave something up. So I love it. Play World Systems is providing the playground through all Wrecker, Virginia. They're great companies, they're great product. It's like the Cadillac of playgrounds. I know a lot of people are concerned about taking away some history, but sometimes you have to for the safety of the kids, and wait till they see what's coming up here. I mean, the design and the layout is going to be incredible. We have a couple days of demolition and clearing, and we have to give it a clean slate. And then once we get the area clear, then we have to come in with our string lines and our squares and start locating all the pieces of equipment, drill it down, and just go piece by piece. It's almost like building a house, because there are actually a lot of codes and a lot of requirements in a playground, similar to a house where you have distances and fall zones And the big thing about playgrounds is the end user in a playground is a child. So a lot of safety and a lot of care goes into planning and designing and installing a playground because of that, because the kids are going to be on it.
You get used to knowing it and how to lay it out and read the prints so that you get the right poles, the right layouts, because if you screw up with one thing, it messes the whole playground up and you got to pretty much go back, start all over again to figure out where you messed up. It's nice to look back after each day from where you started to the end of the day to see where you started and where it begins and how it's all coming together. I mean, there's some days that don't look like we got much done, and then the next day it looks like we got a whole lot done.
A contractor of this caliber that really does a lot of contract work for these high-profile playground groups, it takes a certain contractor that really knows the process, and once you have the experience, you know what it takes to remove, you know what it takes to lay it out, start putting your main poles in, and start putting your stuff in. And I think once they get a feel for how things are moving, and they know within a week, all right, I want the guy in for the EPDM, which is the playground surfacing. They have the rubber surfacing. The contractor can also have a feel for where he'll be lining up his mulch and bringing his mulch in. And he wants to kind of work his way from the inside out, per se, when it comes to the surfacing too.
We love doing it. It's all about the end user. It's all about the kids coming out here. So everything that we do, we make sure that all the bolts are tight and everything's where it's supposed to be. But it's a great job. I wish we could do more of it, but there's only so much we can do because like I said, the end products will be here for a long time, and it's just great. When you get to see the kids come out here and play on something that I'm not giving it to them. The city's giving it to them, but we built it for the city, and the kids love it.
There's a lot of music, animal sounds. They have climbing walls that are just, it's like you're an indoor climbing place. They're just the neatest climbing walls you ever saw. The rope walls that you could climb on. When you look at something, it doesn't just look like a playground. It looks like I'm going to go play on a ship. You walk up and you actually see a ship. It's outlined there. Or I'm going to go climb that tree house. There's different things like that, and the industry has really come far with these days. I'm very proud to be a part of this department. It makes me look forward to the future of what we're going to do in other areas and what we can provide to citizens to make it a better community.
A little help can go a long way here in this city, especially when one particular company and a group of volunteers, along with the Newport News Landscape Services staff, come together to beautify this community one tree at a time. And not to mention get an insight on one historic site that is indeed on the right track for a much brighter future.
We do this every single day of our work day, so it's great to have some volunteers today, and they're going to share their experience with you. We wanted to do a beautification project on the north end of the city, and this site was chosen because the plant material that's being planted today will make a nice screen to the backdrop of the CSX laydown yard.
Oh, right in the hallway.
Oh, okay.
All the plant material for the project today were donated for a generous offer from Dominion Power, and we have 6 or 7 Dominion Power volunteers out today to help us plant. Well, it's kind of ironic. Dominion Power showed up today with more volunteers than I actually have on my entire landscape services staff. We've got 65 sites all over the city that we're responsible for, and I've got 5 dedicated professionals that do a great job on those sites. But we're very grateful for all the volunteer help we can get.
Well, what we have in Dominion, we have various grants from education, higher education, K through 12, and this one's an environmental grant. And we have one per year in the eastern region, and we chose the City of Newport News. We have a great relationship with them, love the staff, love the city council people, and so we're here today.
The fall is absolutely the best time to plant. I don't care what you're planting, trees, shrubs, grass, anything. The fall's the best time to do it.
It gives us a sense of pride of what we're able to accomplish today. I'll tell you, it's very, very rewarding to see the employees just come together to help the city. It's just our way of giving back.
The reason Dominion Power came out today originally was an environmental grant that they gave to the city in the amount of $3,500 to plant new trees and shrubberies in some of the city's main corridors. But they realized that the midpoint between these locales was the historic Lee Hall Depot. And in this regard, they decided that they would like to present the Friends of the Lee Hall Depot a $1,000 check to help them with the restoration of this structure.
So, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, we have a $1,000 check we'd like to present to you and say thank you. You know, I'd like to thank everyone at Dominion Power for this wonderful donation. I want you to know this money will be used quickly and wisely, and I invite you all to come back and see the project when it has been restored and will be open and enjoyed, I hope, by the entire community. Thank you so very much.
Today was a very exciting moment for us to be able to show the building to Dominion Power and as well as to the citizens of Newport News, because aside from some city forces, no one has had this opportunity since the building was moved in June of 2009. Although the building was sliced up and moved, it's now back on its new foundation, and in terms of the restoration, so many of the interior architectural elements are still there. So for those who are interested in old rail stations, it's a wonderful example of one because it's the last remaining CNU station on the Lower Virginia Peninsula. The city is now in the process of being able to actually spend the money that it's had in hand from some time. We have over $700,000, part of the federal iced tea program, and this money will be used specifically for restoration and of the exterior of the building. This involves new windows, new doors, siding, repainting, a reconstruction of the original bay turret, which was part of the ticket office, and then we will also be considering interior modifications as far as HVAC, bringing utilities, fire suppression, and security to the building. This is an historic project for the city. We encourage people to be volunteers and to come out, see what's going on, because this is a structure that belongs to all of our citizens. It's your tax dollars at work. We want you to be aware of it and come be involved in the process. And for those of you who are interested in being friends of the depot, you can contact us online, our website at leehalldepot.org, or call 525-7372. All aboard!
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with so much to celebrate and so much to look forward to. But in the midst of all the excitement and the anticipation of the coming days, it's also a very important time to give thanks for all that we have, and do all we can, now more than ever, to make a difference in the lives of those less fortunate. And for the 4th year in a row, Christopher Newport University, Smithfield Foods, and the surrounding community did their part to give food for thought and help the food bank of the Virginia Peninsula fight hunger one donation at a time.
This is CNU's 4th annual Food for Thought campaign, and this is our best year yet. We're really excited. We're about halfway through it now, and had Smithfield come out and give us 1,000 pounds of protein for the food bank, and our athletes came and delivered all that they had collected in the neighborhoods around here, and lots of departments and student organizations.
35.6.
We take the whole month of October, and it's just kind of a unique opportunity for our campus to do something together and to really join forces, and we're going to see the impact of that because we saw a picture of the food bank shelves recently and they were empty. And so we've kind of distributed that photo around campus, and that really rallied folks. And so I think it's going to be a big deal. We'll fill those up.
Well, we used to do a lot of food drives, but now people are so busy, and we are actually doing less food drives, even though we need to do more, because more people need our help than ever. But the problems that we're facing is the same that the person next door to you are facing. The food costs have gone up, they have risen, and you're buying less food, but you're spending more money. So that means food drives are way down. So this food drive is a blessing because it looks like we got a lot of good food. So we appreciate every can that we get, especially here at CNU. But if you want to give a can, it will make a difference.
Well, the reality is that there's so much unmet need in our community and in Virginia and in our country and the world, but we each have to do our part. And if we each pitch in and help out a bit, it makes a difference. Because, you know, we really change the world one person at a time.
I think it's a good thing to, outreach to the community, give back clearly. I mean, there are a lot of people out there that need food, and I think it's like a great cause to, get the whole campus together and get all this food here.
Hunger has no boundaries, and so to be able to give to an organization like this and see it go directly to families, especially to children. There are a lot of children out there that are hungry. So to see these needs being directly met is the greatest gift.
Thankful for life, for health, for shelter, for food, and who could forget family, as the traditions passed down throughout the years come together to tell a unique story, not to mention creatively express the past, present, and future, all from the comfortable confines of one historic house with one fascinating art exhibit. As the Newsome House Museum and Cultural Center in the southeast community of Newport News proudly celebrates 3 generations and one creative family who have quite a knack for some incredible inspirational art.
Yes, the 3G art exhibit, I'm really excited about this because not too often do you get to feature 3 generations from one family, and all of these ladies are so creative, and as you'll see as you look through the pieces that are here, so many different genres of art are represented. We have Delilah Armstrong, and then she's the mother of Cecile Armstrong, and then they have a goddaughter, Michaela, who is 12. And so they have all been creatively making all of these different art pieces. And I talked to Cecile about maybe doing an exhibit a couple of years ago, and that didn't happen, so we just kept in touch. And luckily, we were very fortunate to have them all come together and loan us their artwork to display here at the Newsome House.
I don't do traditional quilting. I do mostly 3-dimensional quilting. I rarely use a pattern. Most of my ideas, they just pop into my head, and then once I rearrange them mentally, I put them down on fabric.
I started off my art career doing cross stitch and beading, and Zentangle is a new art form, but it's based on just doodling, but it's basically meditative doodling. Each one of the patterns that is a Zentangle is based on 6 steps or less, and you basically just draw in a 3.5 square area so that it's a small enough space that you can finish in one sitting, and you draw and you can let your mind wander. It's a stress reliever. I love that.
This piece here is amusement park. I called it that because, like, if you look closely, it's like a shape and it looks like a roller coaster, and so I put a whole bunch of different designs inside of it.
Well, I've exhibited here a few times with the 5440 Guild, and to exhibit with my daughter and my goddaughter is just amazing. And to see their work and know the hours that they put in. And sometimes when we're working on some of these projects, they really turn into like a little party, you know, and you get to talk, discuss things while you're producing something.
I love my family, so to be able to participate in an exhibit with my mom and my goddaughter is just awesome. I love it that Michaela's learning what we do so that we're passing on the things that we know. I love it that my mom is teaching me what she knows, because like I said, I'm primarily a beater, she's primarily a quilter, but we're teaching each other, so we're both learning. I'm learning how to work with fabric, she's incorporating beads into her quilt work, so I just love it.
It's exciting to see your artwork in someplace else so everybody can see it.
It's been wonderful to be able to create exhibits utilizing the artists that are right here in the community and be able to highlight them, give them a chance to showcase work that may have been hiding in their closets or, you know, only family got to see. So it's the perfect venue for it because we're a smaller setting, but the intimacy of this house lends itself to kind of something that you don't usually expect to see. And we're hoping that people will come here and experience this beautiful art exhibit and get a little history while you're here as well.
After witnessing new life that only spring can bring, surviving the sweltering heat of summer, and now left to wonder what a wild, wonderful winter will bring, fall is that one special season that fits in between. And you better believe there's plenty of sights to be seen, as the colorful changes abound, saturating the scenery all around, giving us an amazing glimpse of Mother Nature hard at work, and especially in and around the 5 Mile Noland Trail in Mariners Museum Park, as we celebrate not only its 20th anniversary as a crown jewel of Newport News, but the incredible beauty that captivates one and all who traverse this trail, especially now and throughout the year. So sit back and relax, as Williamsburg's own Bruce Hornsby sets the scene with his instrumental version of the song Love Me Still, a song he gave us permission to use, and a song that truly helps to keep us all fascinated with fall. Well, that's about all the time we have for you this month. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Newport News in Review, as we've helped to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the beautiful Noland Trail in Mariners Museum Park. And as always, on behalf of everyone here at Newport News TV, whether you're watching us on TV or online at nngov.com, Facebook, or YouTube, thanks for watching. And we'll see you here real soon for a very special December edition of Newport News in Review right here on Newport News Television.
For more information on Newport News and Review, contact Aaron Pritchett at apritchett@nngov.com.
Now it's easier than ever to stay up to date with all of your favorite Newport News television programs. All you have to do is join our viewer email list by sending an email to Newport News TV's Aaron Pritchett at apritchett@nngov.com. We'll gladly add you to our growing email list, and every month you will receive an update with direct links to Newport News in Review and Inside Newport News, so that you can watch the shows on your own time and see for yourself all of the great happenings in the city of Newport News. It's just another way that Newport News Television and the city of Newport News are staying connected with you.